This lesson has the ability to transform your metabolism, your health, and vitality like nothing else you've ever done before. And look, doctors won't tell you this, but we're gonna go through a timeline of what happens inside of your body when you don't eat food for 36 hours. So for those of you watching here on YouTube, you're gonna see an animation of exactly what's happening throughout this 36-hour process. And if you're listening on the podcast, you may wanna go to youtube.com/KetoCamp to see the timeline. So let's start with the first 14 hours. There are two incredible processes that occur during the first 14 hours of this 36-hour fast. The first process is that you're gonna lower a hormone called insulin. Insulin is an energy sensor. When you eat food, especially carbohydrates, you trigger an insulin response. When that's triggered, you start to store fat. Insulin clears the excess glucose from the food out of the bloodstream and starts to pack it into your cells. It starts with your liver and muscle cells, and when that gets full, then it goes into your fat cells. This is why insulin is called the fat storage hormone. As a matter of fact, it's the only hormone that stores fat in your body. So what you're gonna see during those first 14 hours, insulin starts to drop hour by hour, especially once you hit that 14-hour mark. Why is this significant? Well, you're gonna start to burn through those sugar reserves I just mentioned, called your glycogen stores, which are your liver and muscle cells. As that becomes depleted, your metabolism then switches on fat burning. You start to burn stored body fat. So you're gonna start to lose some weight during this process. And this will start to ramp up a little bit more as we go through this timeline here, but you're gonna notice, wow, I actually feel lighter, I look lighter, and that will happen in a short amount of time. The second thing that happens here during the first 14 hours is you complete digestion. This is very significant because it takes a lot of energy, blood flow, and resources to digest food. Think about this. The last time you feasted, Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, you had a whole bunch of food. Was your first immediate thought, man, I'm so energized and focused, let's go get some work done? Of course not. It was, where's the couch? I'm gonna become a couch potato. You might even take a nap because it takes so much energy to process a meal. So it takes about 14 hours to complete digestion. So at this point, you're gonna notice significant energy increase. You're gonna have more mental clarity. There's a process that occurs right here during the 14-hour mark called energy diversion. This is one of my favorite benefits to fasting. Essentially, you're diverting energy away from digestion towards the brain, towards healing the body. So you raise what's called counter-regulatory hormones, and all you need to know is that this is your body's way of pumping you full of energy so you stay focused and alert. So at that 14-hour mark, you're gonna notice, whoa, what is this energy boost? Look at this mental clarity. I feel incredible. And that is a short amount of time where you get that benefit. As you continue with this fast, around the 16-hour mark, there's a process that gets activated called autophagy. Autophagy is cellular cleanup. Think of it as Pac-Man going within your cells, looking for damaged cells and fixing them, eating them up, repairing those cells. This is one of the most important processes you get during fasting because it prevents diseases like cancer, autoimmune, it supports your immune system, and it gets rid of cells that are not burning fat for energy efficiently, and it fixes those cells so you burn fat for energy more efficiently. The analogy for this to make sense is this. Imagine your refrigerator. If you opened up your refrigerator, what do you see? You see groceries that all have an expiration date. The orange juice, the milk, the produce, the condiments. Every single one of those groceries have an expiration date. Let's say instead of using those groceries, you let all of them expire. They reach their expiration date and beyond. And then instead of throwing those expired groceries into the trash can, you kind of just let them sit there, buy new fresh groceries, put them in front of the old groceries, close that refrigerator door, come back the next day, open up that refrigerator. That's gonna be a nasty, toxic environment. As a matter of fact, disease will grow in this environment. Your human body is the same thing as this refrigerator, meaning you have cells, protein, mitochondria, these little energy factories within your cells that all have expiration dates on them. Your metabolism is required to remove or replenish, regenerate about 60 billion of these cells every single day. Autophagy is that process of getting rid of the junk, the expired cells, fixing it up, cleaning it up, and creating new, healthier cells. And these cells now produce more energy, so you have more energy, but also helps with fat loss as well. And this is so remarkable to me because the innate intelligence within your body, this inner physician, it does this very purposefully. I want you to remember this. The number one priority for the human body and your metabolism is survival. So during this 16 hours of a fast, your innate intelligence thinks, whoa, we must be going through a famine. You see, it can't understand, it doesn't get that you could walk to your refrigerator and get food. It doesn't understand that you could go on your cell phone and click a few buttons for Uber Eats or DoorDash and have somebody knock on your door in 45 minutes with food. It doesn't understand or get any of that. You see, we are hardwired for the old school, the way our ancestors lived for a very long time where there were famine, and you activate autophagy because your body thinks it's going through a famine. This sounds like a bad thing. It's actually an incredible thing because it literally pumps you full of energy and resources so you are able to have energy and focus to go out there and hunt and kill. But you're going to use this energy and resources just to be productive and feel incredible as your body has that Pac-Man system cleaning out the junk. So autophagy gets activated during the 16-hour mark, and it continues to increase, which we'll talk about later, throughout this 36-hour fast. You could also achieve autophagy, by the way, through exercise, especially strength training, but my favorite way is through fasting. So it's activated during the 16 hours. Now, as we move along throughout this fast, when we hit 24 hours into this fast, this is where we get remarkable digestive health benefits. I mentioned already, it takes a lot of energy and resources to digest food. After 24 hours, you're gonna notice if you deal with acid reflux, GERD, bloating, a lot of that just goes away completely. And several studies are showing that there's an intestinal stem cell reboot, meaning you have cells within your digestive system that are cleaned up and then go through a process called programmed cell death, where your metabolism literally, this is incredible, your metabolism literally gets rid of these inflamed intestinal cells through a process called apoptosis, which is simply programmed cell death. Think of it as a zap to your cells, where your body just gets rid of it. But it goes a step farther, where then it produces a new stem cell. And that stem cell starts to heal your body. So if you struggle with a lot of digestive issues, a 24-hour fast is absolutely incredible for an intestinal stem cell reboot. As you progress into this fast, what you're gonna notice maybe around the 30-hour mark of this fast, it's kind of like a spiritual experience. In your brain, a process gets turned on called BDNF production. BDNF is brain fertilizer. It's Miracle-Gro for the brain. It stands for brain-derived neurotrophic factor. But this is really incredible because some of the studies on fasting is showing that this process gets enhanced. So you have more effective neural connections where brain cells are communicating with each other more efficiently. Of course, that results in more clarity, focus, energy, and productivity, but it's kind of like a spiritual experience. This is a good time to tap into your intuition, do some journaling, maybe think of creative ideas, business ventures, ideas you wouldn't have thought of before. There's something that happens here, and it's no coincidence that every religion practices some form of fasting, and I believe it's because of this process of the BDNF production. BDNF is also produced through exercise as well. Certain foods like blueberries could produce it, but with fasting, there's a huge increase in BDNF. Essentially, you're gonna feel like you're having this spiritual experience where you have so much mental clarity and focus like you've never experienced before. This then leads us to the 36-hour mark of the fast. This is where you're going to experience serious fat loss. I've seen some people lose 5 to 10 pounds within a 36-hour fast. And you're gonna think, yeah, Ben, a lot of that was water weight. And yeah, some of it is. But here's what's happening. Every hour throughout this fast, after you hit that 14-hour mark, that fat storage hormone, insulin, drops every hour. But it's not just about the insulin. something else happens, because yes, your glucose, blood sugar levels will drop, insulin will drop, but now your body, your metabolism is starting to use your fat stores for energy. Your belly fat, love handles, visceral fat, starting to pull that out of your organs, the fat, and that fat is sent to your liver. These fatty acids, your liver starts using that for energy, and it produces ketones. Ketones, you've heard of the keto diet, but keto is not even a diet, it's a metabolic process. Ketones increase your basal metabolic rate, which makes you burn more calories just sitting on the couch. They also enhance your little battery packs within your cells, the mitochondria, to produce more energy, and at the same time lowers inflammation. So you have this incredible effect where you're lowering insulin, producing ketones, you're melting body fat, you're gonna look leaner, feel leaner, it's gonna be absolutely incredible. I can tell you that I've worked with thousands of people all across the world, and I've used this 36-hour water fast. I've done it myself, and it works so incredible to restore the metabolism, break through weight loss resistance and plateaus. And if you've never done it before, you're gonna experience something that's absolutely incredible for your metabolism. Now, there are a few things we need to consider here. When it comes to fasting, it's important to prepare yourself for a fast, like a 36-hour fast. And I'll answer some of the common questions on fasting in a second, but I want to give you a free resource to help prepare you for this fast. You want to get fat adapted before you do this fast. You want to prepare this fasting muscle for this 36-hour fast to get all these amazing benefits. And you could do that with 3 little easy steps that I put in a free ebook that you could read in 15 minutes. And if you've never done fasting before, if you're new to this and it sounds really scary and intimidating, then follow this 3-step approach for 7 days, then start to incorporate some of the strategies I'm mentioning here. And you can get the book for free over at burnfatbook.com. Click the link in the notes down below, or if you're watching on YouTube, scan the QR code on the screen. Now, with that being said, let's get to the commonly asked questions on this topic of a 36-hour water fast. First question is this: will you lose muscle during a 36-hour water fast? This is a big concern when I used to own my CrossFit gym here in Miami, and I used to teach fasting back in 2013. They thought they were gonna lose all their hard-earned gains, but the body's very smart. We don't burn muscle for fuel when we have excess fat available. The metabolism will use your body fat before it taps into muscle. You have to have very, very low percentage of body fat before you really start to lose muscle mass during a fast like this. And I mean 6% or less, which most people do not have. And the reason why you don't lose muscle and actually could preserve and build muscle with a 36-hour water fast is because there's a huge increase in a hormone called human growth hormone during a fast. Some studies are showing that a 24-hour fast, meaning just 24 hours into this 36-hour water fast, there is about a 2,000% increase in human growth hormone in men and a 1,300% increase in human growth hormone in women. Human growth hormone is anti-aging, it's fat burning. It's such an important hormone that many people pay their doctor thousands of dollars every month to get human growth hormone injected into them. Now, there are side effects when you go that route, but what if you could get it for free during a fast? And you will, especially with this 36-hour water fast. The next question is this: what can I drink during the 36 hours of this fast? Here are the things that are approved. You want to consume water, electrolytes to keep your minerals up. You want to consume coffee and tea, that should be fine. And if you take supplements during this 36-hour fast, just make sure it's not fat-soluble supplements. Anything that contains vitamin A, D, E, and K, you don't want to really take without food because it could make you feel nauseous and you won't absorb it really well. But magnesium and other supplements during this fast is totally fine. Next question: should I exercise during this 36-hour water fast? You can. You actually will get more fat loss and more autophagy if you choose to do so, but gauge it by how you feel. If you want to use that 36 hours just for healing and getting all those amazing processes I outlined, that's totally fine. But if you feel game to go crush a workout, go for it. Because when you go into a workout in a fasted state, you're going to use the blood flow to crush the workout versus using blood flow for digestion. So I personally have worked out during a 36-hour water fast. You don't have to, but it's up to you. The next question is this: how often should I be doing this 36-hour water fast? It really depends on how much extra fat you have on your body. If you're already close to your goal weight, then maybe do this 36-hour water fast once every quarter, every 90 days, just to get all the health benefits. But if you're really overweight, 20 pounds or more, you might want to do this once a month. It's a great strategy to prevent weight loss stalls, break a weight loss stall, and tap into stored body fat. Once a month if you're overweight is a good idea. The next question is this: what's the best way to break this fast? You want to break it low and slow with protein and fat. I'll give you some examples for meals to break a 36-hour water fast. Bone broth is a terrific way to break a 36-hour water fast. Some scrambled eggs and steamed veggies and avocado, great way to break a fast. Or even a high quality protein shake like Equip Protein is my go-to. You can get it 20% off over at equipfoods.com/Benazati. So protein and fat, low and slow, that's what you want to do. Here's another question that I get asked. Ben, what's the longest fast ever recorded? This is gonna blow your mind. You ready for this? There was a gentleman, a Scotsman named Angus Barbery, and he went without food for 382 days. That sounds insane. It's in the Guinness World Records. And I gotta tell you, check out the photos of his before and after. You can see on day 1, he was 450 pounds. On day 382, he went down to 180 pounds. He was medically supervised, keep that in mind. He just had water, tea, some nutritional yeast, and electrolytes, but that's it. And he looked great, felt great, blood work looked fine. Look, this guy was extremely overweight, and I would argue that although he was not putting food in his mouth, he was eating. His body was getting nutrition from his energy stores, his fat cells. So we have extra fat as a way to have stored energy, and when you fast, you use that for energy. This guy had a lot of energy stored, and he was able to do that for a very long time. But if you're not that overweight, definitely don't do something like that. It's a very long fast, and it can be really extreme, and of course work with a practitioner on all the things I share here. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you. Look, I hope you give it a shot, and if you do, come back here and give me your comments and show me some of your before and after. It's gonna make a huge, huge difference for you. And please share this lesson with a friend if you found it valuable. If you love this lesson, I recently published a video, and it's actually the fastest growing YouTube video I've ever published out of thousands of videos, and it's only 12 minutes. And for 12 minutes, I share some fat loss insights that will save you 17 years of experience. I encourage you to watch the clip coming up right here. Click the link in front of you and watch that video, and I'll see you there. So the first thing is this. So this is a valuable lesson I learned that's gonna save you so much time because I made so many mistakes here. Calories are not that important. There are other things when it comes to fat loss that are more important, and that's hormones and inflammation. For so many years, I kept just cutting my calories, exercising more. Tricky thing about that is that it works